Talk about.
That's so funny, we could hear
Got us
that.
under screen.
No, as far as Rachel's trying to get us to restart this tape.
Oh, my goodness. Mm.
Like my grandpa
That's
does,
so
I
funny.
couldn't touch that.
I know.
All right, we're good now.
Okay, we're back on now. Regular meeting of the EDC is called to order. Roll call, Rachel.
Jerry Bouye,
Present.
James Ellis,
Here.
Archie McKee is absent, Melissa Mills,
Here.
Nate Manette,
Here,
Clyde Rabidou,
Here.
Nick Russell is absent.
Thank you, Rachel. Motion to accept the agenda.
I'll make a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Second by Sherry. Okay.
Melissa, second.
Yeah, Melissa, second, right. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Public comment. There being none, we'll move on to the approval of the previous meeting minutes of November 13, 2024. All of which you have received. Can we have a motion to that effect? Motion
I'll
to
make the
approve
motion.
the
Oh,
minutes
geez,
of
I'm
November
sorry.
13th, please.
Nate made a motion.
Second.
Nate,
Nate and Sherry.
second, Sherry.
Okay.
All in favor approval of the previous meeting minutes of November 13th, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Committee reports, governance,
nothing to report.
audit and finance,
Nope.
loan committee.
The loan committee will address when we get to the resolution and the business of the meeting.
I'm sorry, Paul.
We'll discuss it when we get to the business, the resolution and the business section.
Got it. Treasurer's report, Paul.
Pretty much the same as I mentioned earlier in the other meeting. With the EDC, there's a lot more entries that have to be posted in relation to accounts receivable as we come into the end of the year. So we reflect the proper income for 2024. We'll be billing out a number of the grants and recognizing the revenue in 2024, so it doesn't show up in 2025.
Thank you. Do we have a motion to accept the treasurer's report contained in your packet?
Just one last question. What do we do for cash flow since we're, we're down 100 grand here, $225,000 over there? Are we just using funds on hand for cash flow or?
Yeah,
what are we doing?
one of the things that I mentioned in a prior meeting is one of the things that we're going to be converting to when we do the next round of budgets will be to actually use the premise of fund balance. The agency traditionally has not segregated money out like you would for a municipality for appropriated fund balance. So we're going to introduce that in the future. But basically, yes, right now we use up, built up funds to get us from one year to the next until, let's say in regards to the IDA, a pilot comes in. The EDC was one of those areas when I started that it was obvious that we didn't have big pots of money coming in. So we started focusing on what we could do to generate additional revenue. And one of those things was taking on clients like Pendragon, where we're performing services for them. And that was never done before as a way of generating more revenue. It was recognized that we had two avenues to increase our revenues. One was building our loan portfolio, and two was generating more grants so that we could generate more administrative income off of that. I would say we've been very successful this past year with that. And on top of it, certainly wasn't planned, was the Tropical Storm Debbie grants, because that can provide us a significant amount of revenue. So it's difficult to predict year to year where we're going to land because of those grants, but overall, our grant generation is much higher. We're now generating more interest income. And the next real big thing that we need to go after is interest generated from additional loans being made. Our loan interest is up this year compared to last year. And I see that continuing at least into the next year. But to answer your direct question, do we generate a cash flow statement? No, we do not.
Well, that's a ancillary question, but we have enough cash on hand.
Yes.
Okay, that's all I need to know. Thanks.
You know me, Clyde, I like to talk.
You do a damn good job.
Thank you, thank you. We have to vote on accepting the treasurer's report.
Yes.
So moved.
Moved by Clyde, second.
Melissa.
Sherry,
Melissa.
all in favor of the treasurer's report, signify by saying aye. Aye.
That's not nice.
Jesus.
It's been a-
CEO report.
The only update, the only other thing that I've got from performance reviews and the strategic plan is just a quick update on the resilient and ready flood repair program. I've been sharing with the board in the weekly updates that one chart about where we are with the progress of each one. But I think we are now at the point where we're not accepting new applications. We know how many there's going to be. It's still up in the air how much grant funding will actually be provided to applicants, because it's a matter of, people have estimates, but we don't know exactly what their costs will be. So that's a moving target, but we actually now have 6 projects that are already completed. And everybody else is in some state of preparation, whether it's finding contractors, whether it's getting a structural inspection done, so we know what the scope of work should be.
Is that what those were on there? That's what he said, probably from that money, the swamp.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah, right.
he's a home inspector, so every single almost every project, we have a home inspector go through and do a limited home inspection just to verify things that owners had identified in their application. I mean, so he'd be able to see things like, it looked like the water got up to this
Right.
point in the basement, and verify that the stairway got pushed, or this drywall got ruined, and all that stuff. So we have a basis for developing the scope of work.
Yep.
And validate.
So there's a lot of those moving parts that, and most owners are in that process. There's some that are done. There were people who had already done work and were able to reimburse them. We have some folks that are in the process of finding contractors and things like that. Most people are in that realm of doing that due diligence work. But it's taken a lot of time and would not be possible without the great team we've got we're all just trying to figure it out. And our award started, if you recall, I think it started at 350. Then we got up to 550, and it will be higher because the costs that people will have is going to be higher than that. Yep. So, and the state ensured that whatever the reasonable costs are for everyone that we approve, the state will cover it. So it's been a good, rewarding experience, even though we're all Paul's not getting any more gray hair, he's losing it, but the rest of us are.
One comment I want to make is, I don't think he gives himself and the team, Rachel enough. And it's the outreach. I mean, the 350,000 bumped up because of the outreach and reaching people and getting the word out. And it made people more aware of what's available to them. And Rachel Child does a lot of, hand holding and encouraging people and answering questions. And it's built confidence that, we can do this. So it's grown in numbers, not just in dollars, but in numbers. of people, and that's because of the outreach. And obviously, larger the balance makes me happy because it means our administrative cut is going to be higher.
Yeah.
And supports our.
Which speaks
Operations.
volumes for the uniqueness of our county. Mhm.
So,
Very good.
That-
Jeremy, did you just include the flood repair?
Yes, I
program?
included that, so you can skip
Sorry,
that, correct.
my
You
fault.
can skip that.
All out of order.
All right, we're now on to new business. Resolution 2024-29, authorizing a loan deferment request for Happy Camping RV. Could we have a motion to put it on the floor?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Sherry, second.
A second.
Second, Melissa. Okay, give us a quick run.
So this is similar to what was done a year ago with Happy Camping. There has definitely been progress in getting not only his building closed up, but in getting kind of his life in order after some of the events that transpired over the past couple of years. He did approach us last summer requesting some kind of loan modification, and I denied him that because I wanted to see more progress on the construction of the building. He's constantly been in touch with Jeremy, you know, touching base with us, sending us pictures, letting us know the progress. So the communication has been good. So he did approach us about a month ago and took it to loan committee, and loan committee was fine with bringing it to the full board for their approval. We generally grant these 3-month ones without too much of a deep dig. I did request his tax returns. I have reviewed them. I mean, not a lot of income over the past couple of years. But again, a lot of it is just written on, you know, it's his gross sales are significant, but a significant amount is, you know, eaten up in expenses and different things like that. So I'm very happy to recommend to do it for 3 months. I've already kind of been giving them an indication it's not something what we want to keep repeating. So that's about it. If you have any questions, happy to answer them.
What's his payment?
Any questions?
About $1,900. Both principal.
Right,
He will be making interest payments.
okay, so that's fine.
Yeah, only deferring the
It's
principal.
just deferring principal.
I'm good.
Any further questions? If not, we'll assume the motion has been moved. Could we do the roll call vote, please?
Mary Bouyer,
Yes.
James Ellis,
Here, yep.
Melissa Mills,
Yes.
Nate Manette,
Yes,
Clyde Rabideau,
Yes.
Archie McKee is absent, and Nick Russell is absent.
Thank you. Resolution 2024-30, authorizing temporary modifications for voucher processing related to the storm recovery program. Jeremy,
You wanna do motion first, or you wanna just?
oh yeah, sorry, thank you. Motion to put it on the floor, please. Nate, second. Melissa? Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
So, when we sat down and evaluated, you know, the volume of people that we have with the storm recovery, New York State has set this up where once we submit a reimbursement request, they're gonna send us the money. It's generally not gonna be done in batches because they recognize the importance of getting this money back into the hands of the people that have had to expend the money ahead of time. So what's going to end up happening is we're going to have multiple requests going in, and the state's going to approve them at different times. And when we get the money in, we generally have 5 days to turn it around. Preferably, we'd like to do it quicker to these homeowners. Some of them have significant money on the line. And I mean, it's certainly internally we can process it, but we recognize trying to get a hold of board members to sign off on the vouchers it could be, 4, 5, 6, 7 times in a week possibly that we might, well, not more than 5, but there'd be a significant number of that. And so what I propose is, since this is a state program, the money's simply passing to us and we're passing it off to the homeowner. It's not our money, that we would like to temporarily suspend the board having to sign off on all those vouchers. However, the board still has the responsibility of reviewing that. So let's say we continue to do the vouchers every 2 weeks, you will see on the voucher every single payment, it'll be noted that it was Tropical Storm Debbie. So you will know that the check has already been issued, but you'll still have all of the backup that supports it. But again, these are just pass-through payments.
Gotta wrap up a job.
And it's really just to alleviate
I can leave though, right?
having to process the voucher every single day, and sending it to the board and trying to find the board.
Sorry. I was gonna do this by Zoom. I could be at the job and do this.
Thank you.
Pardon me, I gotta go wrap up a construction job. Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Clyde.
Yeah, Clyde.
Still have a,
We do? What? I haven't done it.
As long as June says.
As long as no one raises the question, the chair will assume a motion, quorum is still present.
Yep.
So resolution 2024-30. Anything further? Being none? Call the roll, Rachel.
Carrie Bouye,
2024-30.
Yes.
James Ellis,
Yes.
Melissa Mills,
Yeah.
Nate Manette,
Yes.
Archie McKee is absent, Nick Russell's absent, Clyde Rapidu is absent.
Next is resolution 2024-31, authorizing the rail trail small business fund awards. Motion to put it on the floor, please.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Nate, second. Sherry, go ahead, Jerry.
this is kind of similar. We had hoped to have awards, specific awards ready for the board to approve, and the additional information that we're asking from applicants, from the timing is such that we want to be able to, if appropriate, and based on the recommendation of the review committee, make awards to some folks if they are all ready. Even if we're waiting for other folks and we don't make all the awards. So whereas we would normally provide you an award, like a list of specific awards to approve based on the recommendation of the committee.
Mhm.
We're asking for you to approve the total amount, and then based on the award, based on the recommendation of the committee, when it happens, which may be before the next meeting.
So you're saying whatever the committee decides and recommend.
And
So going to go through that process.
we're in it, yes.
Right.
Yeah, we're in the middle of it. We had hoped to be done by now. But we've got to ask for more information from folks. And so this is just a way for us to keep moving forward, but still give you guys the right level of oversight. So it's a little bit different than what we normally do, but it's to just try to keep, if we get projects that the committee recommends to move forward and they have all their ducks in a row, we want to be able to
Just
just
get it
get
done.
them going,
Love it.
even if we're waiting for other ones.
Right.
And we'll still, before there's any announcements or anything, I'll communicate it with the board first, just in case there's something that we should be aware of that you have concerns about.
Okay.
But we'll have to wait a minute. You must have had to use the
Facility?
facilities,
Insane.
so we'll wait.
When he stood up.
You have someone turn that up for you.
Yeah, were they having a hard time hearing?
Yes.
But we had, it took me 2 weeks to get that TV and microphone working. There was this big software glitch on it. I couldn't fix it. We had to have the Illuminating Concepts come and fix that. And then once that all got situated and software updates made, it was then incompatible with the microphone. So they had to go basically reset that and upgrade the firmware and software on the microphone.
They should be easy there.
So now it all works again, but apparently we need to work on the volume.
Yeah.
Just to let you know, the inspectors that go out. We're still on and
Oh,
My favorite is when he hits the line. Back when I was in school, back when I was a teacher, he was an army teacher. I love that.
that's why you gotta pay those people to do that.
and we were covering them.
Yeah. That's great. It's all kinds. Okay. Who is there with him? Kelly? Should text Kelly, is Jim in the building?
His hat is still
I
there.
see his hat.
That's where, yeah, I think he just had to.
And he didn't want to interrupt you.
Yes.
He thought we could show them on the back.
You ready for Christmas with all your grandbabies or what?
Yeah, it's coming quick. We do ours before Christmas, so.
Mm.
Yeah. Have a lot of wrapping to do. And there it sits,
Yeah,
but very exciting.
fun.
Tell Dan Paul wanted me to harass you about T-bills.
I will. I will. Actually, I was just asking, I couldn't think of what it was. There was another reason why we were talking about something. I think it was for his dad. I was just like, what's that thing that Paul talks about? And it takes us a minute to figure it out, the actual name for it.
They're all great as long as the interest rate stays good.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna change soon, I have a feeling.
They already have started dropping.
A little bit of a bounce back, but now we're dropping back.
Mhm.
Which is
Mortgage
good,
rates
in the
have
grand scheme of
dropped.
things, that's not
It
terrible.
I'm waiting for the mortgage rates.
You have to remember though, even the mortgage rates right now, car rates, these were normal.
Oh, I
guess they were.
No, people don't.
People don't understand.
They just
You would
dropped.
kill
The
people
so
20 years
low.
ago.
Yeah.
They just dropped so low, then people are using that as the guideline, and it's not
And that's probably
really.
never come back.
Right.
Onto that,
Have Kelly check on.
My house is like 1.9,
your house rated?
it's like 1.9,
Holy,
Yeah.
you got it in a great time.
Yeah, ours is
it's
two.
nuts,
2.85.
yeah, you can't beat that.
No. I don't know, if it'll get that low again, but
I
might,
know,
yeah.
right.
Maybe
It'll be
a 3
okay.
or 4,
Yeah, it was
like
fun,
3 or
But
4
that's
years.
normal.
that,
That's normal.
There you
I
go.
don't
Correct.
think it's healthy.
Sorry, I had to go take some pain
Yeah,
pills.
3 and 4.
Back is
Oh.
killing me.
Absolutely.
Okay, we're all
Making
set.
money.
you know, yeah.
Any further questions on resolution 2024-31?
We already voted, Jim.
Way back.
I know that. I'm asking, are there any questions? I'm sure you were discussing it. It's
No questions, we're
on the
ready.
floor. Correct, Rachel?
Sherry Bouyer,
Yes.
James Ellis,
Yes.
Melissa Mills,
Yes. Oh my God.
Nate Manette,
Yes.
Archie McKee is absent, Clyde Rabidou absent, Nick Russell absent.
Thank you, Rachel. Is there a need for an executive session on the motion of anybody? If not, we'll move on to public comment. There being none, we'll assume we're ready to adjourn. Date of next meeting is January 8, 2025. We have a motion to adjourn. I think
Yeah.
Sherry just
Sorry. Yep.
Sherry just raised her hand. Melissa, second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Hi, Jen. Like everybody doing something.
Merry Christmas.
You too, Jen.
Merry